told you all last week, I'm baffled how we got here to where Andrew Tate is a coveted podcast guest, is a coveted influencer. People want to be next to Andrew Tate. People want to be associated with Andrew Tate. All in the mainstream, all out in public. I cannot wait to watch the Patrick Bet-David, Andrew Tate interview because I want to see how this goes down. We've seen Andrew Tate interviewed by American podcasters and journalists before. It's been a tiny bit disappointing for me. I'm wondering if I'm going to be disappointed again today, but I just want to remind you, I want to play you some highlights, some best of clips from Andrew Tate. And as I've told you, again, I don't want to distance myself from, I know people like Andrew Tate. I've been friends with people like Andrew Tate. That's why I can recognize exactly what Andrew Tate is. He's not some conservative influencer promoting the patriarchy and the manosphere. He's a pimp trying to avoid the consequences of being a pimp. You can listen to him out of his own mouth. He tells you exactly who he is. Let's start with Andrew Tate on how he took a nothing girl into a cash cow.
And I became a multi-millionaire. I did this by creating a webcam studio, by taking girls who didn't know how to be effective on webcam, girls who had never done webcam before, girls who didn't have the equipment, didn't have the know-how, didn't have the will, didn't have the premises, didn't have the ability to make money with this exchange. I created a system that allowed me to convince girls to do this, allowed me to retain 100% control of their income, allowed me to make sure they were effective, because it's a super competitive industry. Don't think this is easy money. You're just going to put a girl on the camera and they're going to get rich straight away. No, it's very competitive and it's very difficult. I learned every tip and trick it takes to make sure a girl gets paid. I know how to make sure the girl can't run away. Because once you teach a girl how to do this, she has the ability to make unlimited money from home. Why would she still give it to you? Why does she just run off and keep it all for herself? Why are you getting your percentage? I learned how to do everything to take a nobody and make her a somebody. I learned how to take a nothing, turn her into a cash cow. And betas from all across the world would be sending money into my bank account. This is what webcamming is.
That's Andrew Tate. And somehow he's a respected member of the conservative influencer community. I'm baffled by it, but I'm really not. Because when we talk about the uniparty, and people love to talk about the uniparty, Republicans and Democrats working together, they don't apply the uniparty to this sexual nihilism, this sexual perversion cult that we have going on in America. You can see it in Hollywood, and we can all wag our finger at it. Oh, look, they gave a porno Best Picture. There go the bad guy. It's the leftists. It's the Hollywood elite. It's also us. Because Mikey Madison just won Best Actress for playing a whore, a hooker, an escort. And Andrew Tate for the past 10 years, and certainly in the last 5 since he got into trouble, he's been the best actor in social media, pretending like he's not a pimp and trying to use, I'm the leader of the red pill movement. I'm telling young men how to be men. They're trying to persecute me because of what I stand for men and how I'm against the matriarchy. That's how they're trying to persecute. No, Andrew, you're being persecuted because you ran your mouth all over social media because you're a goofy. Because, again, when I'm telling you, I can recognize Andrew Tate because I've seen it before. And the guys that I know in Andrew Tate's line of work would have no respect for Andrew Tate. What are you doing all over the internet promoting your sexual depravity, promoting your illegal line of work? And what are we doing as conservatives helping this man sell his lies? are we part of some sexual uniparty? I want to play you, just so we're crystal clear, I just want you to hear stuff out of Andrew Tate's own mouth. This is Andrew Tate on militant pimping.
I built my business off the back of my. That's how I built it. That's how I got rich. So I became militant with the pimping. And my bottom bitch understood it. And she understood that perfectly. So that is the recruitment structure, and that is extremely important. I hope you understand why you have to have sex with a girl, otherwise she is going to leave. What you don't want to do is get a bunch of girls, teach them how to make money from home, and then let them leave you and run off and make money for themselves. And then you check their Instagrams and they're having a great life and rich and you have nothing. You don't want to do that. So you have to f*** a girl. If you're not f***ing a girl, she is f***ing someone else. And that other person she's f***ing is going to have the control over her mind as opposed to you. And if he controls her mind and you don't control her mind, once she starts to pick it up a bit after a few weeks, a few months, whatever, and realizes how to make money on her own, is she going to stay and keep paying you, or is she going to run off and pay her boyfriend, or them two are going to go traveling in Southeast Asia and she's going to work as she goes, or she's going to go to her boyfriend and say, look, you type for me. She's going to run off. She's going to leave. There's no way, I did this business for a long time. There's no such thing as having girls who work for you who you've not. It's impossible. You have to and they have to love you. It's essential to the business, because otherwise women have no loyalty.
I sit here and wonder why I drifted off into the debauchery and depravity that I did. And I try to, maybe I'm lying to myself, trying to justify the way that I used to be. But I think, like, the reason why at 2 a.m. I was like, let me watch this movie, because I know my audience isn't prone to watch this movie. Let me watch this movie. And I sit there and say, I'm going to watch it so you don't have to. And perhaps in me trying to put a positive spin on how retarded I used to be, perhaps I ran off and did all that things that are affront to God so that I could tell you about these things and you won't have to make those mistakes. And again, I know that's a rationalization. I know it's not true, but it's what I tell myself so I can sleep at night, or so I could understand myself, or so I could just try to have comfort with just all the things that I know and have seen. And so the reason why I hear Andrew Tate say these things, I've seen this with my own eyes. I know men that operate that way. And that's how I can, this whole little, oh no, I'm not some pimp, blah, blah. No, man, you talk and you act and you've exposed yourself as a pimp. There's no mystery here. This guy is not some part, if he is part of a red pill movement, he's part of a psyop. He's part of trying to normalize this whole thing. Trying to mainstream this whole thing. Andrew Tate is not on my team. He's probably not on your team. At least I hope not. He's trying to save his own rear end. And he's using other people to save his own rear end. And perhaps they're trying to save maybe they've been in business with Andrew Tate. Maybe they have friendships and relationships, and this is all part of the clickbait society that you all have to be in. And because I sit there and wonder, and I hate to say this because it won't be understood, but I'm looking at people that have built massive audiences on social media, on YouTube and other places, who are helping Andrew Tate sell these lies. And I look at myself and say, I've been looking for what they see in Andrew Tate, and I can't find it. And so I'm not going to help, I'm not going to defend Andrew and Tristan Tate. And I go, oh, That's why my reach is perhaps limited. Because I can tell you this, when I was promoting sexual debauchery, when I was a participant in sexual debauchery, when I used to write columns about, you guys remember, some of you that have followed me for a long time, pussy galore. And I was out promoting and bragging about what a debaucherous life I lived. My reach was in no way limited. My reach was massive and promoted. As soon as I started saying, you know what, that stuff I was doing was silly and stupid. It took me away from holiness. It took me away from the things that actually benefit me and glorify God. My reach started getting limited. Help us grow the Fearless Army. Pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with all your fearless friends.